Just yesterday we got the rather happy confirmation that Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions are finally free of Konami's slimy grip after months of a rather messy and public breakup where Konami's stock probably went into many minus figures with pretty much everyone ever. And now we have some more information regarding both Kojima Productions and what Hideo himself has planned for the future. We have just learned that Hideo is being joined by some familiar faces, especially if you are a fan of Metal Gear, as these two people have made significant contributions to the Metal Gear series. They are producer Ken Imaizumi and artist Yoji Shinkawa. However, that does not mean that we're going to be seeing more of the same from this rather close development crew. Now that Kojima Productions is independent, they are intending to spread their wings. Now, when speaking to IGN in an interview, Kojima said, quote, "We'll have more agility, we'll be able to do things that are more edgy, preserving the quality we've had so far, while at the same time finding new challenges and exploring new areas." Now, Kojima has of course been involved in the games industry for quite some time, 30 years, roughly speaking. But he's still saying this change is a new start, and it probably is. He's gone independent, of course he's been with Konami for a really long time, so yeah, it probably does feel like a fresh new start to someone who is of course an industry veteran. And he went on to say, quote, "I am very confident. I'll keep creating games until the day I die. Rest assured I'm making more games, something fun, something you haven't seen." Now, we also had a rather interesting comment from Shinkawa, who said that he'll be overseeing the art as you'd expect on the new project, including, quote, "characters, concepts for the backgrounds and concepts for the mechs." So while we know nothing about this game, other than that it's a PS4 console exclusive and coming to PC at some point, we know that it involves mechs in some way. What's also interesting is that Kojima wants to do other things other than gaming, such as, say, films, animations, and other digital content, but first he wants to do games before he does anything else, because, well, that's kind of what people expect. And Kojima himself said, quote, "That's where I want to put my focus. Once we have an established IP in games, something solid that satisfies people, then we can consider movies and videos." One last interesting thing that Kojima discussed, and I will link the full interview in the description below, is that the new project from Kojima Productions is going to be smaller scale. And he said, quote, "I'm thinking smaller scale, not too many people, I'm focusing on game creation at first." So that's interesting. Kojima is kind of famous for ballooning budgets to the point of almost obscenity. So it's going to be interesting to see how creative he can get with a slightly more limited budget. Of course, he's got Sony backing him, so it's hardly going to be the true definition of indie, like the usual budget that indie games have. But it's probably going to be less than he's used to, given that he's thinking smaller scale. Or maybe he just wants to start small for his new series, his new IP, and build from there. It's entirely possible. Given how little we know about the game, which is basically nothing, it's hard to say. I suggest you give the full article a read. As I said, it is linked below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.